drive time. That's me and Bentley, producer Joe, and Max, not Billy, he's watching Friends. We'll be heading stateside for a week. How about that? And that's because the draw for next summer's World Cup takes place in Washington on December the 5th. President Trump will be part of the draw, which will, of course, decide the fixtures for the group stage of the expanded 48-team tournament. So we can look ahead to the draw, the World Cup, as a whole, as we're delighted to be joined by a former USA defender. Alexi Lalas joins us. Alexi, good evening to you. How are you?
Gentlemen, you sound great. You look great. Your hair looks awesome. Both sides over there for those that are watching. And yeah, we're cocked, locked, and ready to rock here for not just the draw, but obviously 231-ish days until World Cup kicks off next summer. So a lot to look forward to both on and off the field.
Well, listen, thank you for the comments. Firstly, you look as amazing. And I was looking at the room that you're in. If people are watching on YouTube, they'll be able to see it. If they can't, they're listening. Can you describe just what it looks like? You're in a recording studio. It's amazing. What have you got around you?
Yeah, I mean, this is probably a remnant of COVID when we all kind of created our grottos, and me with, I do a lot of music and stuff. So I got some guitars behind me. I got a American flag I can tilt up there and you can see different stuff. So yeah, I got a lot going here. I mean, it makes me comfortable here, and it is the proverbial man cave, if you will.
I like it. It's good. Maybe before we let you go, you could sing us a little song. Could you do that later?
Sure, I can do whatever you want.
All right, that'd be great. We are very excited about the World Cup draw. What's it like over in America? Has it reached fever pitch yet? Is everyone extremely excited about the World Cup that's fast approaching?
Well, I think that everybody is certainly aware, much more so. There's going to be this juxtaposition with back in 1994, back in the 1900s when, I was running around. You guys weren't even born, a lot of hair ago. But, what that was and what our culture was relative to the World Cup and to soccer back then and how it's dramatically changed. And you mentioned President Trump, who kind of mentions the World Cup and the Olympics almost every single time he is speaking publicly. I've called him the soccer president, and I think he's excited. So I think that there is a recognition and a focus on what is to come and the opportunity that we have both on and off the field.
How good is the USA team now? And obviously I know the manager, Mauricio Pochettino, very, very big fan favourite over here in England. How is he viewed over there, and how is the national team looking?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because I find myself here now 231 days away from a World Cup. And if you had asked me in my version of myself back in 1994, where we would be 231 days away from yet another World Cup being hosted in the United States, I would say, hey, we're going to win the World Cup. I don't think that that's the case right now in the way that this team is or the way this team is being thought about. So you're wanting a little bit of magic, and there is magic that happens in a World Cup. As you guys know, there's kind of a brigadoonish type of element to a World Cup, and you're hoping that happens. Obviously, because we're hosting, we don't get to go through the qualifying process. Mauricio Pochettino, like we said, comes with an incredible resume, but none of it is in international soccer. And so he's had to kind of hit the ground running and learn as he goes. He's been paid $6 million a year to do things that we haven't seen before. Qualifying for a World Cup, we've done that plenty of times. Winning a group, we've done that before. Getting out of a group, we've done that before. But now it's getting past, well, I guess in this case, it would be the round of 32, and then back to that round of 16 where we always kind of falter and doing something magical.
Do you think, though, you guys have got a really good chance because it's over in the United States? And the reason why I say that is because, of course, we've got some really good European countries in the likes of France, England, of course, Spain. But going over to a different climate, do you feel that maybe this is a really good chance for USA to really progress past that point you just said?
Yeah, I think that they're going to harness what a World Cup, because look, guys, I'm talking to you today because of the power of a World Cup. And there is nothing greater than a World Cup except a home World Cup. And there is a magic that comes with it. And if this team can harness that, I think it's going to bring this country together in a way that other things can't. And they have, certainly, there's quality, individual quality. There's a growth. In the last World Cup, the U.S. was the second youngest team. And so that generation has kind of grown up, not just being professional soccer players, but being participating with the national team. But as you know, December is going to be important because that group is going to be important. And you find your pathway and you start to figure out what you have to do to get out. We know that third place teams now, best third place teams come out. So there's a greater chance of getting out of the group. I don't think the U.S. team is looking to finish third, but there are opportunities to get out. And now this, round of 32 now that it's going to be new because of this expanded 48-team World Cup. There's a lot of new stuff going on, but ultimately, I do think this team can capture some magic next summer.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how popular is soccer out there at the moment? And the reason I ask that is how popular was soccer on a scale of 1 to 10 before Messi went over to play in the MLS? What has he done for you over there?
Yeah, Messi's been great, as he would be great in any place that he has been or would go, because of the attention that he brings. Look, this is about bringing people into the tent, all right? This soccer tent has grown big and more visible over the years. Back in the 90s, when the last Men's World Cup happened here, we were just trying to say, hey, this is a game that you should check out. Now it's on the palette of every person out there. All right. Yes, we have American football, and yes, we have all these other sports, but there's a generation now that doesn't look at soccer any differently, and they look at it in the terms of the international aspect of it and the global aspect of it. And I think that's really important. And I think whether it's you guys coming over, I know you're coming over in December. Hopefully I can see you there in DC, or next summer when a lot of people are going to be coming over. I think they're going to find a very different and changed culture and climate when it comes to not just the way it's supported as a World Cup, but the way the sport has grown here in the United States.
When you start looking for your national side, and you spoke about the aims and the goals of this World Cup coming up, you've got some real top players that are playing in some of the best leagues around and some of the biggest clubs. Of course, you've got people like, I think it's Chris Richards, who's Crystal Palace, fantastic, doing really well for them. You've got the likes of course, Christian Pulisic, Haji Wright's doing well at Coventry as well. I mean, you've got some real depth and some real good players in this USA team.
Yeah, and we oftentimes associate it with where they're playing. And so we have, like you said, we have players playing in the EPL, we have players playing in Serie A, we have players playing in the Bundesliga, and so many more. Back in the day, the John Harkses of our era and of our generation, that was unique. And that was an anomaly for an American to be able to go over. And yes, with the opening of the European community and the Bosman ruling, all the different stuff that went on, it has made it easier. But from an American perspective, those new pathways now afford us the opportunity to have players playing oftentimes at a higher level, oftentimes in a country and culture that is soccer based, and that's important. But there's also now Major League Soccer that has come about that has fostered incredible talent too. And so you put those two together on paper, the U.S. should be much better and should be winning games and should be doing well at World Cups. We all know that's just on paper. But to your point, when you're talking about Christian Pulisic, Weston McKennie, guys that are playing in Italy, guys like Tyler Adams and Chris Richards that are playing in the EPL, Flo Balogun, who I know you've heard of over the years. So these are players with good pedigrees, but that's still only on paper. Ultimately, they have to do it when they get on the field next summer. And as you know, sometimes you get into the World Cup and your resume doesn't always speak for itself.
Alexi, listen, before we let you go, a couple of things. Firstly, do you know who's responsible for putting together the opening ceremony? Because I would love Diana Ross to have another chance to score a penalty.
Right? I mean, I know you're referencing something that there's probably a generation out there that has no idea what you're talking about. But that opening ceremony back in 1994, it broke a lot of barriers because, as we know, FIFA, they are slow to move and they are oftentimes stuck in the past. And so they kind of wanted to be a little bit more interesting and progressive and entertainment. And that was something to behold. You can check it out on YouTube. I think they're going to blow it out of the water. I think they're going to, do as much entertainment as possible as they can. I think that this is going to be a uniquely American and, yes, Mexican and Canadian type of World Cup. I think it's going to be on the field and off the field, something the likes of which we've never seen before. There will be people that like it. There will be people that don't like it. I invite you and all of your countrymen and women to come on over. We'll have a good time. You're not going to have a problem. Don't be a jerk. All right. Come on over. Have a safe time over here. Have your soccer. Have a summer of soccer through the lens of the World Cup and come over and visit us. We'll have a good time. We'll drink some beers. We'll celebrate the game and we'll go on from there.
Can I ask, as we get close to the World Cup, do you get even more excited than you are now? Because I don't think that's possible.
Dude, I get jacked up. I got to pace myself, but I get excited for this stuff. I mean, look, if I am not excited for it, why would you or anybody else be excited for it? So I am spreading the gospel. I enjoy what I do. I'm not going to apologize for that. That's what we need. We need people to be excited, and I am going to be excited about it, and therefore I hope you and others and people that see me and people that I meet are excited about it, because it is ultimately a party whether you like the game or not.
Well, let me ask you, right, because we're coming over for that week and we end up in Washington where the World Cup draw is. You're going to be over there for Fox, is that right?
You betcha. I'll be in D.C. We'll have a good time. There's plenty of shall we say, watering holes over there that we can frequent.
Well, how about this? Will you come on our show when we're out there? You come and say hello properly?
Hell yes. That'd be awesome.
That'd be amazing.
That'd be wonderful.
We would love to do that.
You guys are awesome, all right?
And when we do that, will you bring your guitar? Because we probably don't have time now because you've got to grab it and plug it in. Will you bring your guitar with?
Not a problem. Not a here. Real quick. Here we go. Here we go.
Okay.
Here we go.
Okay.
There it is. There it is.
What can you sing? Can you make a little song up about talkSPORT Drive Time?
And I don't know if I, but I can do.
Okay.
And the home of the brave. There we go. Okay.
Perfectly done. Thank you so much for your time. We can't wait to meet up with you in person in Washington.
All right, you guys are wonderful. Come on over. Bring your beer. Bring your fun. Bring your flags. I don't care. You can fly whatever flags you want over here. We got no problem with that over here.
We'll do that, but only if you promise me one thing.
What's that?
You bring your A game.
Oh, I will. But God forbid it's coming home through the United States on our 250th birthday. I cannot have that.
We'll see you soon. Take care, my friend.
See you guys.
Right.
How good.